Welcome back. You are watching the Fiji Pro. It is finals day and quarterfinal number 3 hitting the lineup. Carissa Moore. She is chasing her best ever finish in the Fiji Pro. Laura Enever. She is looking to get past the quarterfinals here. She's actually never missed the quarters in the Fiji Pro, and she has the opportunity to crack the semis. This will be a good battle. Both these surfers putting up huge numbers in round 3. And we have some action. It's going to be Carissa Moore, last year's world champion, getting started early and tucking in, grabbing the rail, still gunning, still rolling through this pit, and she finds the exit. This is going to be a huge score to get things started for Moore. The best tube ride we've seen in the contest so far, as she drives up into the lip now and is really committing to those turns. She's going to kick out. Has CJ Hobgood working with her at this event. Ronnie Blakey with Ross Williams here to call the action. And Ross, what a huge start there for the 3-time world champion.
How's the cherry on top of the sundae there? That snap was so nice to finish it off, as if she needed anything to add to this barrel right here. There you go, perfect 10s across the board. Sickest barrel we've seen in this event by far, Ronnie. Amazing. She flew right out of that, way behind a curtain. And that's what we were waiting to see. In the morning show, we're talking, you know, if anyone can really get behind the ledge, tuck in there and take advantage of these hollow waves, they're a little hard to find. You know, it's scary because you get these wash throughs and you have to take it on the head. So to put yourself in the right spot, it's kind of tough, and it definitely tests your nerve. Carissa got paid huge, such a huge payoff of that pit.
Talk to me about the technique, because she never looked like she wasn't coming out of that tube. She looked like she was adjusting her line through the barrel, and here it is.
Well, she's going to tuck right there and grab the rail, and now she's going to put her weight over her front foot. And right there, that's all about pedal to the metal. She sees the channel, she's looking through the window right there, she's in the barrel, and she knows that this wave is fast running, so she's trying to keep that momentum going forward. And that's why she's really pressing on that front foot, holding that rail for control. You know, the wave is making you slide down towards the curtain, so you keep yanking on that rail to hold your line.
And there was that subtle little line change to aim up towards the actual shoulder of the wave, or the highest part of the wall as she exited that tube. It was just subtle, but we saw Nikki Van Dyke earlier pull into a great barrel, but her line sort of pointing down towards where the wave was breaking as she was trying to exit, and as a result she got clamped up.
Watch this turn right here too, Ronnie. Vertical, right in a pocket, and now she's going to stomp in that back foot, just release the fins a little bit, and there she gets the nose out of the way. That tight transition, really, she got a little air. Beautiful snap. That alone was legit. Easy 10 for the judges.
The best backhand surfing I've seen from Carissa, and coming off the back of her best ever heat score total, as Laura Enever, who had a 10-point ride in round 3, looks to answer back on a solid wave and just transitioning down the line. She has a great read on the wall here at Cloudbreak, and she is still carrying a lot of form into this quarterfinal clash and hangs on to that turn. This is a good reply from Enever, and she is lucky to pop out the back of that ride as it shut down on the inside there. And Carissa is taking off once again. A flurry of rides and big numbers in the opening stages of quarterfinal number 3. Carissa looking for her 5th semi-final appearance this year. Hasn't yet had a victory. She's going to straighten out on this one.
Wow, 3 pretty solid snaps right in the pocket for Laura. She is going to fight back. The judges absolutely fell in love with it. Now let's dissect right here. A pretty fast wave, Ronnie, so she's going to try and keep that speed up. Nice vertical snap right there. So already the judges are on board. They're thinking, wow, she is really committing herself. Just a down the line snap, trying to match that pace. Beautiful. She kind of tucked under her board there, got underneath it with that second snap. Right there, I think that dramatic of getting into the whitewash ball on that 3rd turn really helped her. You know, it allowed the judges to see just how critical that turn was, just for the simple fact that as she was trying to regain balance, she had to deal with the foam ball. Massive number dropping for Laura. And just trying to keep her rhythm right here. Just a backup score for Carissa. It's not going to be a keeper in the end, you'd think.
A huge reply from Laura Enever, 9.67. In comparison to the tube ride from Carissa Moore, a 10-point ride for Carissa. perfect 10.
It's a big deal too to throw those big snaps right in the meaty pocket is heavy because the waves are big this morning, and it's very easy. You know, Laura is a pretty small woman. You know, she can't weigh more than 100 pounds, so it's easy to get pushed around with all this force with the size of the wave.
And obviously that has given her a lot of confidence to take down those big names. But right now, with just over 17 minutes to go, Carissa Moore, the current heat leader, is using her priority on this ride. Beautiful looking wall. And Carissa just cruising through this first section, waiting for the wave to hit the inside so she can start letting go of some more critical turns. She's going to get out of there now. And Carissa's vibe has completely changed at this contest. In the last couple of years, Carissa, she just hasn't seemed that settled. Even on the island of Tabarua, she hasn't felt like, I think, a threat in this contest in the past. 2016, she is buzzing around the island. She has a really relaxed vibe, and you just get the feeling that she is gearing up for a huge finish. But this lady is going to have something to say about that. Laura Enever from North Narrabeen, Sydney, Australia, just trying to get herself positioned for a highline tube there. And she goes over the falls. A pretty ride to watch, Ross, but it just lacked that big, punchy move.
Well, I really like, there's actually a move in here I think is pretty punchy. She gets a lot of rail and knifes through it. Right there, nice setup carve. I believe this is the one I'm looking for. This is the setup snap, so it's going to be the third turn right here. No, it's actually that first turn. So she had great radius in it. As I said, she put a lot of weight on that inside rail, and I think the judges really paid attention to it. And really the test was all the spray that flew out the back.
Well, the judges agreed with you. A 7.77 as Laura Enever picks one off and again attacks the first section. This wave's fading though, and unfortunately for Laura, that big first turn.
Just be too deep, and her veil came out pretty much at an amazing moment here. 10-point ride.
We're seeing some vision of that tube once again, a 10 from the judges. And no better way to start a heat, obviously. But the door is still open at this stage of the game for Laura Enever. She answered with a 9.67. Strider, on the first couple of days of competition, we definitely saw some surfers with some standout turns, some maneuvers, but it just feels like in the course of 3 days, the performance levels have gone to a whole new place. Is definitely going to be in title contention at the end of this season, and we'll see how she responds over there at Huntington. But right now, with 9 minutes remaining, we are watching Carissa Moore find the barrel once again. No opportunities to add points with turns down the line, but another impressive tube ride. She's trying to drop a 7.77.
Did you see what happened before that wave, Ronnie? She made the perfect decision. She let the first wave go, which, by the way, was really tough. It looked nice, but the first wave is filled with water. It's deep. It's not as hollow. And even Laura let it go. And then a second wave drained off the reef. So kudos to Carissa. You know, I just can't help but to think that CJ's passing on some very vital information to her, telling her which wave hollows out. And again, she got paid off with a beautiful tube ride.
Well, prior to the contest kicking off, we saw Tyler Wright with one of the most incredible tube rides ever from one of our competitors without the jersey on. But it is Carissa Moore who has brought that classic backhand tube riding technique to her heat surfing, and as a result is putting up big numbers.
She can be so proud of herself because she really has elevated her game in terms of picking off these waves right here and getting barreled. This is kind of a new level for Carissa. She's admittedly been timid in these kind of waves, and she doesn't look like that at all right now. In fact, Ronnie, she's completely taken advantage of these, you know, kind of heavy ledged out waves. Again, perfectly executed. That wave was awesome. You know, it was glassy, it was smooth, it was hauled out. It was very easy for her. This one a little different from the first barrel. She had to wipe off just a little speed as she dropped down.
Whoa.
There she lets go of the brakes and just cruises out of that thing. So there was never a moment where she was not going to make it out, but you can see how many times the nose of the surfboard disappeared. And that's a great indication of her getting back in the barrel. The judges will be stoked.
taking her backhand surfing to another level in 2016, putting up a 9.03 and moving further ahead of Laura Enever. So Laura's requirement has grown with each of Carissa's backup rides. It started off with her chasing a high 7. That went a little bit higher into an 8, and now she's after a 9.37. Carissa just on an absolute tear out here at the moment. 7 minutes remaining. Laura's going to get her opportunity to hold priority.
Well, 9.37 for Laura. You know, normally you'd think, well, geez, that's a huge score. But with the way the waves are right now, they're so perfect. She's surfing aggressive. She can get it, no problem.
And Carissa, with that priority, is going to have a look at this one. She's going to go to moves this time. Driving through a nice carve to get started. Fading back to the pocket to set up another critical turn, but that wave fades away. Willing to take a chance with that priority. Laura still out the back, holding on to priority with some lines approaching. And here we go. Laura is going to grab that rail. She'll tuck in, and the lip just hits her right in the head and knocks her down. 6 minutes to go and an opportunity lost to get herself into the lead there.
Ouch. So right now she's getting pummeled underneath the water. Just to the left of your screen there, she popped up, snapped her board.
Well, that's a shame, because that is a magic piece of equipment. She's got to keep that killer mentality alive. But again, let's have a look at the wipeout and what goes wrong here, Ross.
I don't mind the technique. She's trying to lean on her front foot and wipe the speed off, but right there, that wave, it had a bit of a crumble in it. I like to call it like a chandelier. It didn't gutter. You know, you want that thing to pitch wide so it lets you in. It did the exact opposite. Right when she was trying to hold her line, the lip actually broke on her back. So technique-wise, I didn't see, you know, no real smoking gun. Just that wave didn't cooperate. I think one of the things that makes Cloudbreak so intimidating, it doesn't spit you into the channel like Chopu or Pipe. You know, the reef just keeps going forever. So it gives you that feeling that you're locked in. There's going to be no real safe exit. So a lot of times you have to squeak out the side.
And that heat just flew by. And Carissa Moore maintaining her lead from the outset right through to the finish and really building momentum.